Mushroom Oasis by Deersphere Studios. What's your name? Jean. What's your cat's name? Ellie. Ellie has been missing for a while now. She was an indoor cat, but had the tenacity of a wild cat on a mission, trying to leave whenever the door was open. Catios and playtime just wasn't enough for the little missus. I figured she'd come running if I left out some food by the porch. 3 days later, still no cat. I've tried everything I could think of, asking around the neighborhood, putting up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came from my efforts. I couldn't search for her during the day since I had work keeping me occupied. And there's only so many hours in an evening I could yell around the streets looking for her. There was only one place left I could think of that she might have ran off to. The woods by my house, right across the street. I've definitely caught her eyeing the birds and the squirrels that ran alongside the perimeters from the front window, her teeth clicking in excitement. I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find her, or at least try. The first weekend that came around, I packed up some water, Ellie's favorite treats, and a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to even begin looking for her, so I started walking in a straight line, calling out her name every few steps. It certainly didn't take long for me to realize I was in over my head. Why did I think this was a good idea? It was hard to find my bearings within the surrounding trees. I didn't want to admit I was lost. At least, not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needle spun slowly. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Did I really bring a busted compass on my first venture out in these woods? Figured that would just be my luck. The only thing risking the only thing risking my own safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. Oh no, no, no time for negativity. Ellie was out there somewhere, cold and lost and hungry. I had to keep going. It's been hours. I'm so lost. I don't even know why I kept searching even after the moment I'd realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gnawing at my stomach for a while now, having missed breakfast and lunch altogether. The heat and humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people even do in this situation? I knew it was baseless optimism, but walking onwards was really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I'd come across something familiar. I trudged on, my shoes carefully avoiding the tree roots intertwined across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I found myself stumbling through the rough terrain. My feet hit something soft jutting out of the ground. Ugh! My hands shot out as I lost my balance. My feet clumsily tried to find purchase as I wobbled backwards, arms flapping. What? My shoe landed smack dab in a circle of mushrooms. the brunt of it causing a wispy cloud to erupt from the cluster. I stuck my nose in my elbow to avoid breathing it in. I couldn't differentiate one tree leaf from another for the life of me, but I'm pretty sure humans aren't supposed to inhale whatever the hell this was. It smelled strongly of rotten wood and wet dirt, even as it cleared. Something shiny caught my attention. I stooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. It was Ellie's collar, covered in whatever the hell those mushrooms released. I looked around desperately for any signs of her. Ellie? Ellie? Psst, 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 psst. I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I should really steer clear from this. Pocketing Ellie's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have stuck to my hair and clothes. Quick once-over confirmed my suspicions with a slight cringe. A thin yet generous coating of it covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against a tree, dusting off my clothes in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out. To no avail. If anything, it felt like I'm breathing more of it in. What used to be musty now turned sweet, and I found myself inhaling even deeper, trying to pinpoint the smell. Cucumbers. It smelled like fresh cucumbers. A tingly feeling crept up my hands and neck, pinpricks across my limbs as a strange heat reached my face. I started to feel drunk and woozy. My senses were numb. It should freak me out, and yet a strange comfort washed over me. I should lie down. Right now, in fact. My legs gave out from underneath me, my body toppling over at an awkward angle. I laid there and stared and stared and stared. It was nice here. Peaceful calm. The perfect place for a nap even. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of consciousness. Yeah. Nap sounds really good right now. Oh no. Sorry this happened to you, little guy. By the will of the forest, may you rest in peace. Wait, a human? How'd you end up all the way out here? Still breathing too. Ah, jeez, can't leave you here. What should I do? I woke up with a jolt. It was warm, but comfortably so. I could feel the weight of the blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't. I couldn't move my body. My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes started around in panic. Glancing about, I could see the interior of a cabin, or at least the ceiling of one. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Where was I? How did I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave. Right now. This was wrong. 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 I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the crackling of a fire nearby, likely source of warmth I had felt on waking up. I could also hear footsteps approaching. Stay awake. I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person approaching. My eyes widened as I took in their appearance, the protrusions from their forehead catching my attention. Not to mention the green skin. The stranger didn't sense my unease as they heaved a sigh of relief. "You're awake! That's good. That's, very, very good. How are you feeling?" I blinked. "Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Here." The person held a cup to my lips, a strong, sweet smell coming from the rim. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. "Don't worry, it'll help you feel better, I promise. Drink up." As the liquid hit my tongue, all I could feel was a vague sense of heat. As I kept drinking, the taste and texture returned. The sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I could even detect a hint of mint. I lifted my head finally, hands fisting at my sides as I propped myself onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, careful not to pour in too much in case I choked. I finished every last drop, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. I stared at my fingers, realizing I had full autonomy over my body again. "It is new. Now, how are you feeling?" Better, thank you." The stranger laughed. "Oh, I like the way you sound. Been ages since I've talked to anyone, much less with a voice as nice as yours." I brushed off their strange compliment, finally looking around the cabin properly. It was a simple room filled with sparse wooden furniture, perfect for someone living alone. An open archway to the right led to what I assumed was a kitchen. Across from it, a door was closed shut. Possibly the bathroom? Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decorations strewn about. Any available surface had a patterned knitted tablecloths covering over it. From what I could peek into the kitchen, the same could be said for the kitchen utensils. An unfinished project laid beside the bedside table, where I sat, a pair of knitting needles jutting out of a pile of yarn from a small basket. As far as I could tell, it looked like the beginnings of a green scarf. The stranger was comfortable in staying silent, observing me as I looked around. Though with their hat off, the horns and ears were impossible to ignore. They tossed their hat onto the bed, scruffing their hair and making it even messier. "Sorry, but who... what are you?" "Huh? Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Hiya, I'm Michael, with a Y." I shook my head. No. I meant that, Michael stared at me, their left ear twitching. "You look very..." he snorted. "Ugly? Off-putting? No, just, different." "Different, huh? You're just being nice." "Well, explain yourself then." I mean, that's kind of rude, isn't it?" I pinched the bridge of my nose, exhaling slowly. I'm just... sorry, it's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you. If it helps, it's a skin condition. Is that what you humans call him? The way he said it didn't sound confident. And ears? Um, genetics. Right. And I assumed that little. I waved vaguely at his horns. Antenna? Those things are just cosplay to complete the look? Would that make a convincing argument? I squinted. Maybe. Then, yeah, it's cosplay. Still doesn't explain everything. Michael huffed a nervous laugh. Listen, I'm just a guy living by himself in the woods. You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay? Something in his tone compelled you not to question his existence anymore. He's just some guy, living in the woods, completely normal. Right, completely normal. I'm Jane. Michael beams. Nice to meet you, Jane. I fiddled with the blankets as Michael scooted closer from the edge of the bed. I know I already asked, but how are you feeling? Any aches, sores, nausea? Intrusive thoughts? Weird impulses? Fever, maybe? I don't think. He placed his hand on my forehead before I could react. His hands were calloused, quickly retracting as he gave a thoughtful hum. You seem to be lucid. That's a good sign. Great. I was about to comment on his strange features when they reminded me of my cat. Oh shoot. Sorry if this is out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? Her name's Ellie. She's a sweet little thing, about this big. Skittish, but she can approach strangers if she needs to. I pulled out my phone to show pictures of her, only to find it missing from my back pocket. Wait, where's... I haven't. Huh? Your Ellie? I haven't seen it. Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillows, rubbing my temples. She lost her collar too. Even if anyone finds her, they wouldn't be able to tell where she's from. Damn it. Michael stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed. You care a lot for your Ellie. My cat? Yeah, of course. To the point where you're willing to run yourself ragged to the point where you're willing to run yourself ragged this deep in the forest for a cat. Do you realize how far you've wandered away from the nearest town? I found you near unconscious in an area nobody set foot in for years. My cheeks grew heated at how stupid reckless that sounds. I mean, anyone would. For something they cared about, right? Michael eased up, shoulders relaxing. He rubs his chin for a moment, as if contemplating something serious. Something they care about, huh? He finally tipped his head at me with a smile. It's cool. It's, cool to see someone willing to go this far for a small critter. Not a lot of people come out this far. Not even people searching for their lost cats. It's been a while since I've talked to someone, so the conversation's nice too. I think I'm starting to like Eugene. Thanks. His smile widened, but something about it was off. He was showing too much teeth, and it felt stiff. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask, how did I get here? Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods not far from here. Oh, geez, really? I knew I was tired, but I couldn't have possibly. Huh. I did step in something. Something important. Familiar pinpricks crept up my skin. Home. I need to go home. Michael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder. Never mind that. He'd fallen unconscious from heat stroke. Heat stroke? No, that's not what happened. I wasn't. I was fine up until... Michael shook his head insistently, leaning close. No, Firefly. You weren't fine at all. If I hadn't found you when I did, well, who knows what could have happened. There's dangerous wild animals in these woods. Bears, for example. They could have snapped you right up. Bears? No. He was right. You've always heard of bear sightings around the neighborhood. Not to mention the many warning signs you'd see by the roadside on your expedition in search of your cat. And to go in the woods without bringing any water? Passing out from heat stroke of all things. How could you have been so stupid? I shook my head, brain too foggy to pick apart my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? Well, if it means anything, I'm glad you were there. Michael relaxed, hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me. So am I, Jean. I'm definitely glad I found you. His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated on me as he said that. The hairs on the back of my neck stood. Sure. Without a distraction, I've only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. The blanket on me was starting to itch, just as the desperate need to get home began to rise in me again. This was nice, but I should really get going now. Wait! My host jumped up from the bed before I could. I mean, you can't. I can't just let you wander around the woods this late. Please, stay a bit longer. But, Michael, come! He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. We stepped into the kitchen, a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hanging in the air. 2 plates had been set out on a small circular table, complete with utensils and mug of tea. I wasn't expecting guests today, so the food is nothing fancy, but join me for dinner? He looked so hopeful, ears drooping. You'd feel so bad if you had to say no. Say yes. Michael's jaw dropped for a second before he recovered quickly. Yes, of course. Here, come sit. I'll serve up a pie in a minute. I sat as instructed, my stomach rumbling something fierce as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Yes, this was definitely the right choice. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? The outside world can wait. You could stay here and enjoy my company. Oh jeez, I'm sorry, Jean. Huh? What's wrong? I thought that the shepherd's pie was done, but I guess it needs more time in the oven. Aw. But if you wait around, I promise it'll be the best pie you've ever had. I promise. That's all from Mushroom Oasis demo. More updates coming in the future. Tell me what you think of the game. Any support or feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you for playing. Mushroom Oasis by Deersphere Studios. Hello friends, thanks for watching that video, and if you like my voice acting, you can support me by subscribing. Alright, that's it. Bye senpai.